Hello and welcome to Austin Anderson Sports Talk. Today we're talking about the NBA Draft. Now for starters, the Pelicans, the Bobcats, the Hornets, I guess, acquired the pick from the Detroit Pistons, and once again, an awful move by former Detroit Pistons President of Basketball Operations Joe Dumars. They traded Ben Gordon and their first-round pick this year in exchange for the expiring contract of Corey Maggette. I'm going to let that sink in. Before we get into our top 5 mock draft, we're going to talk about who is trying to get out of their pick, move up or down. And that starts at the top with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I think they should only move their pick in one circumstance. If they can trade the number 1 overall pick in exchange for Kevin Love straight up. I think that works for both teams because Kevin Love wants out of Minnesota, and it's not often you're going to get a chance to take the number 1 player in a draft as loaded as this one. And the Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving's due an extension this summer. It's been rumored that he wants out. And so you're not going to lose your top all-star player just like you did LeBron James because you couldn't get one more star to compete for even a playoff berth. Now at number 7, the Los Angeles Lakers are kind of in a rare situation for them. They're picking in the lottery. Now this is a historic franchise coming off one of their worst seasons ever. And with Kobe Bryant coming back in possibly his final year, they need another guy to go with him because quite frankly that roster is awful. Now with the 7th pick, you have options. You could hope one of the 5 or 6 top guys falls, but probably not. And you're looking at a guy like Julius Randle, Aaron Gordon. I mean, those are good players, but they're not going to change your franchise. And what the Lakers are looking for is another star. And they only have 3 players on their roster that are signed right now. Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, and of course, Robert Sacre. Another team is the team picking right before the Lakers. In another kind of rare situation, the Boston Celtics. They're picking 6th overall, and they have their franchise guy in Rajon Rondo. Now they could hope Noah Vonleh out of Indiana falls to the 6th spot, or they could go out and acquire a star. They might be interested in signing Greg Monroe of the Pistons to an offer sheet as he is a restricted free agent this offseason. And with 2 picks this year, number 6 and 17, 3 next year, 2 in 2016, an available option to swap with the Brooklyn Nets in 2017, and 2 first-rounders in 2018. This team is set up to either get really young really quick or make a huge move for a big-time player a la Kevin Love, who is apparently really interested in playing in Boston. Now with the 3rd first overall pick in 4 years, the Cleveland Cavaliers have 3 options, assuming they don't trade for Kevin Love. Number 1, take Joel Embiid, the 7-foot center out of Kansas with a 7'5" wingspan. If you were to build a prospect, you couldn't build him better than Joel Embiid. Coming out of Cameroon, he can shoot, he can handle. He is an elite defender with his shot blocking and rebounding abilities, and he has the best low post game to enter the draft in a while. Now, when you're picking comparisons for Embiid, you don't go Dwight Howard. You go Hakeem Olajuwon. And if this guy stays healthy, he could be a face of a franchise for a decade, an all-star and all-NBA performer, and eventually find himself in the Hall of Fame. That's how good Joel Embiid is, and if the Cavaliers are smart, they will take him number 1 overall. And second, the Milwaukee Bucks take Andrew Wiggins. I mean, if you're looking for a comparison, it's tough, but I'd say a Paul George type player. Paul George is still young and evolving, and I think they could continue to improve to be at an all-star MVP level. Now 3rd, the 76ers. They take Jabari Parker. And they also have the 10th overall pick. So you're putting the Rookie of the Year, Michael Carter Williams, teaming him with a wing such as Jabari Parker, last year's also first-round pick, Nerlens Noel, who they traded for Drew Holiday, from the Pelicans, who is an elite shot blocker. Offensively, he probably won't ever be a star, but defensively, he already is. And so you put those three guys to go with their 10th overall pick, who I think they should look at a guy like Gary Harris out of Michigan State or Nick Stauskas out of Michigan. And that's a core four that could be around for a while. If they develop together, that team could be really good. Yes, this team just lost the most games in a row ever, but they're not that far away with a good draft. 4th overall, the Orlando Magic picked Dante Exum, the Australian sensation. Now, he's a 6'6" guy who I think struggles for an NBA comparison because nobody's really that long. I mean, I guess you could say Michael Carter-Williams, but he's still really raw and kind of was a benefit of a system. But if I have to go with somebody, get ready. Russell Westbrook. A taller and more in control Westbrook who might be a better passer with better vision. But this guy is the real deal, and if you pair him with Victor Oladipo, last year's 2nd overall pick, the Magic suddenly have a dynamic backcourt who can interchange the positions and fit. The Utah Jazz, they don't have a need here at power forward, but they take one of my favorite players in the draft, Noah Vonleh, out of Indiana. Now this guy shot 48.5% from 3. He's a 6'9" power forward who can play in the paint with the biggest hands of any player in the draft and a 7'4.5" wingspan. This guy is huge and he can shoot, handle the ball. I think a better version of Chris Bosh or even Dirk Nowitzki comes into the picture when you're thinking about a comparison for Noah Vonleh. This guy's the real deal, and although the Jazz aren't really the best fit for him, he still will find a way to make it work. Alright, that's it for this week's show. I'll see you guys around sometime. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and go out there in the world, make a difference. Alright? See you guys next time.